worship with us at Sureword Charismatic Baptist Church. Sundays at 10 a.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. At Bowen Banqueting Suite, 7 to 11 Barking Road, Upton Park, London, E61PW. Call 07480-999-229, SurewoodBaptist.org. Watch Lift Up with Reverend David Asamoah. Every Tuesdays, 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Faith TV, Sky Channel 590, and online at www.faithworldtv.com.
My name is Reverend David Asamoah. I want you to watch me every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on Faith TV, Sky Channel 590. God is doing something great, and I want you to be part of it. I don't want you to miss it. Join me, and God will bless you. Welcome to Lift Up, a program designed to lift you up, to encourage you, and to move you from where you are to where God wants you to be. Now, this week, we're going to continue our episode from last week on our talk on excellence. Now, last week, we ended up where we said, if you want to excel, you must raise the bar for yourself. You must believe in your ability. And you must believe in where you are, that whatever you are doing, though you may not be able to reach the full length or the full distance where you want to go concerning what you are seeking to do, somebody may be able to pick it up from there. Now today, I want us to look at how you can also excel or seek excellence by knowing that you are a unique identity. You are a unique identity. You are a brand. Everybody is a brand. That's why we all have fingerprints that are different from somebody else. It means that we are unique. So you are a brand of your own. So there are things that you can do that nobody else can do. There are things that people are looking out for you to do, which nobody else, would be able to do. And so for us to excel, we must know that we are unique. We are a brand. We have our own identity. And so we must not allow ourselves to go through an identity crisis. Most people have an identity crisis. They don't know where they belong. They try to identify themselves by their color, or by where they come from, or by their profession, or by their occupation, or by the family connections, or whatever. All these things are important, but I don't think that your identity necessarily derives from anything apart from who you really are. And you are the best person to know who you are. And you should know what you are best at doing. And when you find out what you are best at doing and you start working at it, and you start training yourself, like last week, we talked about how you must prepare yourself. And so as you prepare yourself to walk in the things that you are best at doing, you begin to walk in excellence. So you knowing that you are unique and you have your own brand, or you are your own brand, means that you must know your self-worth. If you don't know your self-worth, if you don't know the value that you have, people will take you for granted. People will just offer anything for you. If you don't know who you are, or you don't know your self-worth, you wouldn't know, the choices that you have to make in marriage, for example. But you must know your value to know whom you are going to get married to, in as much as you love the person. But marriage is a practical thing. Marriage is something that we get into in order to fulfill what we came to this world to do, in as much as we are fulfilling what the other person or our partner, also seeks to do. And so you must know your self-worth. You must know your value. You must know what you are capable of doing and what people can expect from you. And you must know what you offer. If you don't know what you offer, for example, you go to a job and they ask you, how much salary are you expecting? If you don't know what your value is, you may not be able to put a price tag on anything. If you are in a profession, you are in the art industry, for example, and you don't know your value, then people are going to come for anything. Now, footballers know their value, their agents know their value. And so when another team is going to buy them, they know the value and they know the price tag they put on them. And they say, well, if you can't afford it, we are sorry. We can't you can't have this such and such a person. Now, I don't think that life is about you selling yourself necessarily at a price, but at least you must know who you are. And if you know who you are, you walk with dignity. And as you walk with dignity, people will also accord you the dignity and respect that you need. But if you don't know your self-worth, people will relate to you anyway, anyhow. But I believe that you are much better than what people may seek to do with your life. So know your real worth. And people who seek to walk in excellence also understand that life is in seasons. Life is in seasons. Life is in stages, and life is in seasons. And so you want to reach somewhere, you don't start off by just getting to your destination at one go. You start off step by step. So if a contractor is going to build a 100-mile road, they break it down. They break the road down into various sections so that they can be able to tackle it. If you look at the road from 0 to 100 miles, it may look like a very gargantuan task that you may not be able to get to. So you must know how to break your life down, what you want to do, what you want to excel in. You must be able to break it down and know that it is in stages. So if you want to get a PhD, you know that you don't get from high school to get a PhD. You know that you have to get your first degree, and you have to get your master's degree, and then you get your PhD. So it's in stages. So you must know which stage you are in at any point in time, and know what it entails. Know the resources that you need. Know, the places that you should go, the kind of people that you should be talking to. Because at that particular point in time, this is what you need. And so when you've been able to identify the stages, the stage where you are, and been able to accomplish what you want to do at that stage, then you can move on to the next level. Then you can move to the next level, and then you can move to the next level. I know that life is now very fast-paced, and people want to get where they are going very fast. And most times people get frustrated themselves because they are seeking to achieve things which are not readily available at that moment in time. Yes, we have to think big. Yes, we have to desire to do big things. But can you do that big thing now? Or you can do it in bits and pieces. And so if you want to walk in excellence, you must learn how to program your life to walk in stages and to be in seasons. And so there may be a season which may be a season of sacrifice. It may be a season of sowing. So you go into school, you decide to give up your job to go into full-time education, for example. That's a season. It may be a season of hardship. It may be a season when you have to sacrifice many things. But then you know that when this season is over, you will now begin to enjoy the benefits of the next season, or the benefits of what you are going to get at this particular point in time. So people who seek excellence understand seasons, they understand stages, and they walk accordingly. So seeking to excel also, that means it involves hard work and sacrifice. So you must know that hard work and sacrifice come before enjoyment. And so if life is all about enjoyment, well, you may not be able to excel. But then the excellence will come after hard work and sacrifice. After hard work and sacrifice. And in knowing the stages and knowing about the hard work and sacrifices, you also know that seasons vary. Seasons vary. And so if you know that seasons vary, you know your season. And so it may be somebody else's season, but that may not be your season. It may be somebody's season of merriment, of enjoyment. So at a time when you decide to do certain things, maybe your mates are getting married, or they are excelling, or they are going on holiday, or they are doing this, and you realize, no, this is not my season. This is my season of putting myself together. This is my season of putting my resources together. This is the season of channeling my energies towards a certain cause. And so this is not a season of going out and hanging out with friends. Yes, I may be able to do that once in a while, but that is not a season. The season is a season of bringing myself together, a season of determination, a season of single focus. Because people who seek to excel are people who are focused. Your mind is not distracted. You are not diverted by anything that comes your way. You are single-minded. And the Bible says that if you want to excel, your eye must be single. There's a proverb, an African proverb, that if you try to look in a bottle with both eyes, you may end up breaking, or you may end up, damaging both eyes. And so you must be able to look with a single eye, or look and be focused on what you want to do, because you know that the end and the result of where you want to go is much greater than where you are at any particular point in time. And so people who also seek to excel know that they are distractors. They are distractors. So if you take Nehemiah had a vision on his heart. He asked for what was happening in Jerusalem because he was in a foreign land, and he was serving a king in a foreign land. And he was still thinking about Jerusalem and what was going on in Jerusalem. And when they brought him news in Jerusalem, he realized that all the walls in Jerusalem had been broken down. And so a burden was placed on his heart. A vision was placed on his heart. And sometimes that is how a vision comes. There are Christians who think that a vision means that you are seeing something, in the realm of the spirit, or you dream about something, or you see images in your mind. But a vision may come as a burden. You may see a problem, and that problem becomes a burden, and you decide you want to solve that problem. And so with Nehemiah, that was it. And so he sought to build the walls of Jerusalem. He sought to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. And so once he did that, and he told the king whom he was serving, the king was glad about it. And so the king also gave an order for the king of Tyre, or Cyrus, to give him whatever he needed, the wood and some of the resources that he needed to go back and build a wall. And so straight away he had encouragement. And what encouragement? Who wouldn't feel happy that you wanted to do something and your boss, was all out for it, and your boss was giving an order that everything that you needed should be done for you? And so he would have thought, this is it. Now, if my boss is following me, who is it that is going to stand up against me? But then he went, and as he started working, somebody called Sanballat, and another person called Tobias, and various other people came and started mocking him. And said, what is this man trying to do? That he's trying to build a wall. Now, the wall is so weak, or what he's trying to do, even if a fox comes and leans against it, the wall will tumble down. And so you have distractors, or you have detractors. People who try to work against what you are doing, who will speak against what you are doing, who will mock you for what you are trying to do. But you must be determined that what you want to do, you will accomplish it. And so people who seek excellence are people who are not easily distracted, are people who are not too bothered about people who criticize them or people who work against them. Because it's not just about people saying things, people not saying nice things about what you are trying to do. It's about people actually, sometimes there may even be a plot to frustrate what you are doing. Because whatever you are doing may be a disadvantage to someone. Not necessarily anything significant, but just because the person feels like their honor is being taken away. They think they should have been doing it. Why are you doing it? Or they think, oh, well, he's coming into my territory. Because people are usually territorial. And so when you start doing things, people think, oh, what is he doing? What risk is he going to cause to me? Or how is he going to change what I'm enjoying? Is he going to affect what I have? Is he going to come into my area and start working things out? But anybody who seeks to work in excellence, you face this. Because there's somebody else who may be doing what you are doing. And somebody else who thinks that they own what you are doing. They have a monopoly of what you are doing. And so you may have to break people's monopolies. You may have to break people's territories, enter people's territories, and begin to ravage and begin to work in those territories in order to accomplish what you are doing. Because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Nobody owns anywhere. Nobody owns any territory. So if God places something on your heart to do, don't be afraid of people who are territorial. Because with time, they will also give in. With time, they will have to team up with you. Because they will realize that the force with which you are coming, and the force is the passion with which you are doing it. The force with which you are coming is the determination to succeed. And when people see that strong determination to succeed, sometimes it's difficult for them to fight you anymore. But you may find people fighting you. You may find people trying to hinder you. You may find people plotting against you. But it's all part of seeking after excellence. Because that's to test you, to test your steel. Are you really that strong? Do you really believe that you'll be able to do what you are doing? If you believe in it, then go for it. Because people who seek after excellence are not afraid of detractors. They're not afraid of people who try to distract them or people who plot against them. They are determined to accomplish what they want to accomplish. Which means that if you want to seek excellence, don't allow yourself to be caged. Don't allow yourself to be limited. Don't allow yourself to be put into a box. Because some of us feel comfortable to be put in a box. Many of us don't want to bring about change. But leaders and people who seek excellence are people who bring about change. And people would usually fight change. Change is something that is not comfortable. And so anything that brings change is something that will stir the waters around you. And so because it tries to stir the waters, people will call you like the old prophet called the new prophet, the young prophet, and told him, oh, what is God telling you? Oh, you don't really have to do that. And so he tried to talk him out of what God had told him to do. And sometimes people will try to talk you out of what you are trying to do. They'll tell you, oh, well, we're also trying to do the same thing. What you are doing is what we've tried doing all along. Why don't you come team up with us? Why don't you come form an alliance with us? And it's all well and good. You have to assess it yourself. You have to assess whether that alliance is something that will move you forward or that alliance is something that will just cage you. Because sometimes people will ask you to join their alliance or join whatever they are doing, and they usually get you in by promising you so many good things and promising you, position and promising you reward and promising you this, that, and the other. But then once you commit yourself, then everything changes. And so you must be careful about these things. You must watch the integrity of people who want to form alliances with you, especially when you are so passionate about doing something. When you believe that you want to do something that is new, you are doing something that's going to bring about a change. It's good to form alliances. It's not good to be a lone ranger. But you must know the kind of alliances that you join yourself in. Because sometimes if you join an alliance that God did not really ask you to, and that takes you away from the vision that God has given to you, you would have to answer to God for not being able to accomplish what He sent you to do. So it's a very edgy subject. It's a very, it's something that we have to pray about. It's something that we have to seek counsel about. It's something that we have to be open-minded about and know whether whatever is being offered is something that will either cage us or free us to do what you are doing. Because the Bible says that the Lord is that Spirit. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And so anything that, or any whatever alliances that you are being called to join, you must see, is this alliance going to cage me in? Is it going to just put me down? Or is it going to free me to do what I have to do? Because I believe that wherever we are going or whoever we join ourselves with must be people who are going where we are going or who want to push us to where we want to go. And so it means that you are looking for mentors. You are looking for people who have reached where you have reached, who are willing to also help you to reach where you have to reach, not necessarily get you to, come under them so that you can accomplish what they want to accomplish. But if what you want to accomplish is what they are trying to accomplish, then that's fine. But if what you are trying to accomplish at one point or the other is going to be divergent, you must be careful and ask yourself, what is the cost? Would I be allowed to leave to do what I want to do, or would I be put in that place? And so that is one thing that people who seek after excellence will do. And though you may be fought in the initial stages, if you still stick to what you want to do and you pursue what you want to do, all the people who are fighting you will now glory with you, because they will see that indeed what you excelled at doing is of benefit to everybody. Because anybody who seeks after excellence does not seek after it for their own good. He does not seek after it for their own benefit. They seek after it because it benefits society at large. And so when people realize that what you are doing is benefiting society and in the long run is going to benefit them, then they are prepared, to be with you to do whatever you want to do.
Worship with us at Sureword Charismatic Baptist Church. Sundays at 10 a.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. At Bowen Banqueting Suite, 7 to 11 Barking Road, Upton Park, London, E61PW. Call 07480-999-229. SherwoodBaptist.org.
If you miss any part of this episode or this series, you can always watch it again on our website or on YouTube or on my Facebook page. And you can see it on the information being shown on the screen right now. Now, so excellence, someone who works in excellence. There are a few points I want to give before, I round up. Someone who works in excellence knows how to keep time. Now, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 that to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. So someone who works in excellence understands time, because somebody who keeps time is somebody who can be relied upon. If a person is late, it's someone who can rely upon. If there's something supposed to be done and everybody's expecting that somebody is supposed to be at post, or you are supposed to be at post, and you are not there at the time you are supposed to be, you can't be relied upon. So people who work in excellence, one of the things that you can see about them, which is very important, is that they keep time. They know the value of time. They know that life is about time and life is about seasons. And so they don't allow, lateness to be part of what they do. Another thing that people who understand or who work in excellence or who pursue excellence seek to do is that they understand authority. They understand authority. And we said this earlier. Jesus understood authority. There was a time when this Italian centurion had a servant who was sick. He sent Jesus. He sent people to Jesus for Jesus to come to his house to pray for the servant. Now, when they went to Jesus and they told Jesus about all the good things that this man had done, and then Jesus was going, the man sent and said, "No, you don't need to come under my roof, because I am a man under authority. I saw to this one, go, and to this one, come," and they come. The man did not say, "I'm a man of authority." He said, "I am a man under authority." So if you learn how to be under authority, you will know how to exercise authority. People who are not under authority misuse and abuse authority. If you want to walk in excellence, you must know how to use your authority, because as you work in a team, you must know how to get your team to work. But somebody who understands authority knows that his best asset that he has are the people that he's working with. And therefore, he knows how to exercise his authority carefully and wisely so that it does not bring a hindrance to the people that he works with. So if you want to walk in excellence, understand authority, understand how to be under authority so that you can also exercise authority. Another thing that someone who seeks to walk in excellence does is that he has genuine love for people. You don't see people as tools. You don't see workers as tools. You don't see people who work for you as tools. You don't even see the company that you work for or wherever you are working for as a means to an end. But rather you have a genuine love for people. And it's said that some of the best leaders and the people who work in excellence are people who are able to get people to volunteer. And you can only get people to volunteer when they realize that you care about them. You have a genuine love and care and concern for them. So they are prepared to go the extra mile for you. So if you are in a company or you are in an organization and you have people work for you and they are always looking at the time, so if it's a 9-to-5 job, they are looking by 10 to 5 or even by 4:30, they start packing their stuff and they keep looking at the clock till, once the minute hand strikes the 12, then they are out of the place. But if you are someone who has a genuine love for people and a genuine care for people, and you are concerned about people and their plight and their needs and their family needs and their health and their finances, it doesn't mean you provide all these things, but at least you show, you have an inkling, they know that you care about them. That if you had it, you would do it. And even when you have it, you do it. But you show concern. You want to know what's going on. Your worker, has his mother sick. When they come to work, you are asking them about their mother. You are asking them about what is going on. Your one of your colleagues has his wife pregnant. You are asking about her pregnancy and how she's getting on. Now, when you do these things, people know that you care about them, and they will also help you to get where you are going. Because as I said, you can't seek after excellence when you want to do it alone. You will need people along the way. And if you are going to get people to help you to get where you want to go, and you want to get people to get you to walk in excellence, then you must have a genuine love and concern for people. Also, if you want to walk in excellence and you pursue excellence, One of the things that you must watch is your speech, the way you speak, the words that come out of your mouth. They must minister grace to the hearers. They must be words that soften the hearts of people. They must be words that bring comfort to people. They must be words that lift people up, not words that bring them down. Now, as I've been speaking to you, I've been trying as much as I can to bring encouragement to you, to lift you up from where you are to where you are supposed to be. I'm not here to condemn or to judge anybody. In the same way, when you are working with people and you are operating with people, you want to watch the way you speak. That you speak well, you speak graciously. You watch your words before you speak it. Like someone said, once your words come out of your mouth, you cannot take them back. The words that come out of your mouth are stuck in the past. You can't go into the past to retrieve them. Sometimes even the words that you say, you can apologize so many times. But once the harm has been done, it's very difficult to win the trust of people. And if you want to win the trust of people, it's all about your speech. Not seeing people just because you are paying them as your slaves and just shouting on them and screaming on them and, barking orders on them and all that. You make them timid, you make them shy away from you, and that's not the best way to motivate people, to work with you. So another thing that people who seek to work in excellence also pursue is that they are givers. They give to people. They don't see them, they don't position themselves, or people don't see themselves as people who want to give. They want to centralize everything, that they must receive everything. Everybody is working for their benefit. No. Even though people work and you receive a lot of benefit from people working for you, they must also be seen, you must also be seen to be a giver. You must also be seen, to be meeting the needs of people. And people who meet the needs of people are people who are worth following, who are worth walking around with, or who are worth hanging out for, and who are worth sacrificing your life for. So if you want to walk in excellence, you must learn to be a giver. You must learn to sacrifice for the welfare of other people. You must seek for the welfare of other people. And so, in summary, I would also say that if you want to walk in excellence, you must let your standard be God's standard. And so you must know what you are capable of doing, and your standard must not necessarily be other people's standard. If your standard is going to be other people's standard, then it must be people who are where you want to get to. So that's the standard. So you see them as having accomplished what you want to accomplish. So if you're a pastor and you want to have a big church, then obviously your standard is somebody who has been able to build churches and who has been able to build a big church with a big congregation. If you are somebody, you are an evangelist and you're a healing evangelist, you want your standard to be people who have been doing it, you see the way they do it, and you also want to do the same thing. If you work in a company and you are producing certain products and you want to be better at what you produce, then you want to look at somebody who has been producing, who also has an industry, and you want to learn from them so that that standard becomes your standard. But then you don't want to associate yourself with people's standards and be able to put yourself down and say, well, they've done so much and I cannot be able to get there. It's all about lifting yourself up. It's all about encouraging yourself. It's all about telling yourself, I can do it. I can walk in excellence. And excellence is not perfection. Excellence is doing the best that you can. Making sure that if you were asked, if I was given this opportunity, could I have done it better? You should be able to tell yourself that even if I was given an opportunity to do this, I couldn't have done it any better. Because whatever I had to do, whatever research I had to make, whatever knowledge I needed, whatever ability that I had to put in, I did it all to the best of my knowledge. May God help you to walk in excellence. Continue to listen to Lift Up, continue to watch me on Lift Up, and continue to partner with us. And I know that God will do something good in your life. God bless you.
Worship with us at Sureword Charismatic Baptist Church. Sundays at 10 a.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. At Bowen Banqueting Suite, 7 to 11 Barking Road, Upton Park, London, E61PW. Call 07480-999-229, SurewoodBaptist.org.
Now, if you miss any of this episode or any part of this series, I want to encourage you to visit our website, that's surewordbaptist.org.
Worship with us at Sureword Charismatic Baptist Church. Sundays at 10 a.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. At Boland Banqueting Suite, 7 to 11 Barking Road, Upton Park, London, E61PW. Call 07480-999-229, SherwoodBaptist.org.